Any women think men fall in love because of beauty, perfect timing, or endless attention, but the truth is far more dangerous than that. The woman who knows how to use words like a master of strategy can create desire without chasing, build attraction without begging, and stay in a man's mind long after the conversation ends. Most women send texts that are easy to ignore because they speak from emotion instead of influence. They answer too fast, explain too much, and reveal everything before mystery has a chance to grow. But a woman who understands human nature knows that every message is either increasing her value or reducing it. Men rarely admit this, but the texts they remember are not always the sweetest ones. They remember the messages that make them feel curious, respected, challenged, and emotionally alive. Machiavelli understood a timeless truth. People are not controlled by force alone. They are moved by emotion, curiosity, and the desire to win what seems valuable. A single sentence can create more attraction than 100 paragraphs if it is written with wisdom. Today you will discover 11 texts that speak directly to a man's psychology. These are not tricks. They are examples of confidence, emotional intelligence, and quiet power. When used naturally and honestly, they can completely change the way a man sees you. Let us begin with the first one, because it reveals a secret that most people never understand. The first text is simple. I thought of you when I saw this at first glance. It looks ordinary. Many women believe they need something more exciting, more dramatic, or more romantic. They are wrong. This message works because it makes a man feel chosen without making him feel pressured. There is no demand hidden inside it. There is no expectation for a perfect reply. It simply tells him that, for one small moment, he entered your mind naturally. That feeling is powerful because every man wants to believe he has a unique place in someone's world. The mistake many women make is sending 10 follow-up messages immediately after this one. They explain why they thought about him, what happened, and why he has not answered yet. Suddenly, the magic disappears. A confident woman sends the message and returns to her own life. She knows that silence can strengthen a good text more than endless explanation ever could. Machiavelli would remind you that value grows when it is seen, not when it is advertised. Let your message breathe. Let curiosity do some of the work. The second text is even more surprising. You always make me laugh. Men are often expected to impress women, protect women, and solve problems for women. Very few people tell them that their presence makes life lighter. When a woman genuinely appreciates a man's sense of humor, she is rewarding something deeper than appearance or money. She is telling him that being himself creates positive emotions. That feeling stays in his memory. But notice something important. The message is short. It does not become a speech. Confidence often speaks quietly. Desperation usually speaks for too long. The more you trust your words, the fewer words you need. This is one of the oldest lessons of power. Strong people rarely feel the need to over-explain. Now consider another text. Good luck today. I know you'll do well. This message seems small, yet it reaches one of the strongest parts of a man's mind. Most men are fighting silent battles. They are trying to build careers, gain respect, achieve goals, and prove themselves. They rarely say how much pressure they carry. When a woman believes in his ability before the result arrives, she becomes associated with confidence instead of doubt. She is not acting like a judge waiting to see if he succeeds. She is acting like someone who already expects strength from him. That expectation often inspires him to become even stronger. Machiavelli knew that people often rise to the identity others quietly assign to them. If you constantly treat someone like they are capable, they begin to protect that image. This is influence without control. The fourth text is one that many women are afraid to send because it requires self-respect. It says, I'm busy right now. I'll text you later. Some people fear that being unavailable will push someone away. The opposite is often true. A life filled with purpose is attractive because it communicates value without speaking about value. Imagine two people. One answers every message within seconds, no matter what they are doing. The other replies when they genuinely have time, because they respect both their schedule and yours. Which one seems to have a richer, more meaningful life. Availability is kind, but constant availability without boundaries often reduces mystery. Machiavelli observed that people respect what appears to have purpose. A woman who protects her time sends a quiet message that says, "My world does not stop simply because my phone rings." That confidence is deeply attractive. The fifth text is playful. You'll never guess what happened today. This works because curiosity is stronger than information. Human beings naturally want to close open questions. A statement without mystery ends quickly. A statement with mystery invites attention. But there is an important rule. The story must actually be interesting or meaningful. Do not create fake drama just to receive a reply. Authentic curiosity always lasts longer than manufactured excitement. Perhaps you saw something funny, achieved a personal goal, or experienced something unexpected. Share moments that reveal your personality instead of trying to impress. The purpose is connection, not performance. Men remember women who make conversations enjoyable rather than exhausting. Now let us examine something many people completely misunderstand. Attraction is not built through endless texting. It is built through meaningful texting. Imagine eating your favorite meal every hour of every day. Eventually, even the best food loses its excitement. Conversation follows the same law. Quality always defeats quantity. Many women panic when a conversation slows down. They believe silence means interest is dying. So they send another message, then another, then another. Instead of creating closeness, they create pressure. A confident woman understands that two people should have lives worth talking about. She is not trying to fill every minute with conversation. She is busy creating experiences that make future conversations richer. Machiavelli believed that anticipation increases desire. If someone always has unlimited access to you, anticipation disappears. But if they know you have a full and meaningful life, every conversation feels more valuable. This brings us to another truth that few people discuss. Men are often more attracted to emotional stability than emotional intensity. Movies teach us that love is constant drama, endless arguments, and dramatic reunions. Real life rewards something different. Peace has become rare. A woman who communicates calmly during stressful moments becomes unforgettable because she offers something that many people never experience. This is why even a simple message like, "Don't worry, we'll figure it out," can become incredibly powerful. It tells a man that you are not adding chaos to his life. You are becoming a source of clarity. Every successful leader throughout history understood that people naturally trust those who remain calm when everyone else is losing control. Calmness is not weakness. It is disciplined strength. There is another mistake that quietly destroys attraction. Many women believe every text must receive an immediate answer. The moment a man takes longer than expected, they begin imagining rejection. They ask themselves if he is losing interest, talking to someone else, or ignoring them on purpose. Fear starts writing stories before facts arrive. Then they send emotional messages based on assumptions instead of reality. Machiavelli would warn against making decisions based on imagination rather than observation. Wise people collect evidence before reaching conclusions. Sometimes a delayed reply simply means life is happening. The strongest position is patience. Patience protects dignity. Patience prevents unnecessary conflict. Patience allows the truth to reveal itself naturally. Remember this as we continue. Every text you send teaches a man how to see you. Your messages reveal whether you are peaceful or anxious, secure or desperate, confident or constantly seeking reassurance. Words are never just words. They are signals of character. And the next messages on this list become even more powerful because they reveal how a woman can create respect, attraction, and emotional impact without pretending to be someone she is not. In the next part, we will uncover the next set of texts that quietly reshape a man's emotions and explain why the smallest changes in your words often create the biggest changes in the way he sees you. The sixth text is one that surprises almost every man because so few people ever send it. It says, "I respect how you handled that. Notice the difference between respect and praise. Praise can feel temporary. Respect feels lasting. A man may enjoy hearing that he looks handsome, but hearing that someone respects his choices reaches much deeper. Every man wants to believe he is becoming someone worthy of admiration. When you recognize the way he stayed calm under pressure, kept his word, or treated someone with kindness, you are showing that you notice his character, not just his image. Machiavelli understood that people are driven by the desire for recognition. Not empty compliments, but genuine acknowledgement of their strengths. This message tells him that you pay attention to the qualities that truly matter. That makes your opinion far more valuable than someone who only notices surface details. The seventh text is simple, confident, and surprisingly rare. I had a great time today. Many women avoid sending this because they fear looking too interested. Instead, they wait for the man to guess how they feel. Games like these often create confusion instead of attraction. Confidence is not hiding your feelings. Confidence is expressing them without fear of rejection. This message does not beg for another date. It does not ask if he feels the same. It simply shares an honest experience. That honesty is refreshing. A secure woman is comfortable admitting she enjoyed someone's company because her happiness does not depend on his response. She speaks her truth and then continues living her life. That emotional independence is powerful. It tells a man that your feelings are real, not strategic performances designed to manipulate him. Now consider another message that creates emotional depth. Tell me something you've never told most people. This question changes the entire direction of a conversation. Most texting stays on the surface. People ask about work, food, or weekend plans. Those conversations are fine, but they rarely create lasting emotional connection. This question invites trust. It tells him that you are interested in understanding the person behind the public image. But timing matters. Do not send this to someone you barely know. Trust grows step by step. If you ask deeply personal questions too early, it can feel forced, when enough comfort already exists. However, this message opens a door that many people never dare to open. Men are often taught to hide their emotions. Giving him a safe place to share without judgment builds something far more valuable than excitement. It builds trust, and trust is the foundation of every lasting relationship. The eighth text is one that reflects quiet confidence. Enjoy your time with your friends. Many women unknowingly create tension by treating every moment apart as a threat. They become suspicious whenever a man spends time with family, friends, or personal hobbies. Over time, this creates emotional exhaustion. Healthy attraction needs space to breathe. A confident woman understands that two complete people choose each other. They do not own each other. By encouraging him to enjoy his own life, you communicate security instead of fear. Ironically, people often appreciate their relationships more when they have enough freedom to miss each other. Machiavelli observed that forced loyalty is fragile, but voluntary loyalty is powerful. When someone stays because they want to, not because they feel trapped, their commitment becomes stronger. The ninth text is playful but meaningful. You still owe me a story. Perhaps he once mentioned an interesting childhood memory, an exciting trip, or a funny experience but never finished telling it. Bringing it up later proves something important. You listen. Most people hear words. Very few remember them. Memory is a form of respect. When you remember small details, people naturally feel more important around you. This text does not demand attention. It simply reconnects with an unfinished moment. That creates continuity. Great conversations are rarely built from random topics. They are built by returning to meaningful moments and expanding them. Every good storyteller understands this. Every meaningful relationship does too. There is another lesson hidden inside successful texting. Never compete with every other woman by trying to be louder. Compete by being more peaceful. Social media has convinced many people that attention equals value. They believe the most dramatic person wins. The loudest opinion gets noticed. The most emotional reaction gets remembered. Yet real attraction often works differently. A calm message stands out in a world full of chaos. While everyone else demands attention, the confident woman creates comfort. She becomes associated with emotional safety rather than emotional storms. Men may briefly chase excitement, but they often stay where they find peace. Peace allows trust to grow. Trust allows love to grow. Drama may create temporary passion, but stability creates lasting connection. Think about the conversations you remember most in your own life. They probably were not the ones where someone talked endlessly about themselves. They were the ones where you felt understood. That is another secret of influence. The best communicators are not always the best speakers. They are often the best listeners. A short message that follows up on something he once shared can mean more than 10 paragraphs about yourself. It tells him that his words mattered enough to stay in your memory. Everyone wants to feel significant. Very few people make others feel that way. Another powerful message appears after he accomplishes something important. I'm proud of you. Some people use these words too casually. Used sincerely, however, they become unforgettable. Many men spend years chasing goals, while receiving very little emotional encouragement. They are expected to perform without complaint. When someone celebrates not only the final victory, but also the effort behind it, she becomes different from everyone who only appears after success becomes visible. But sincerity matters. Do not invent admiration. Recognize real effort. Genuine encouragement carries emotional weight because it is earned. Now let us speak about humor. Many women think attraction is built only through deep conversations. In reality, shared laughter creates emotional memories faster than many serious discussions. A playful message like, "I blame you for making me smile today," carries warmth without becoming overwhelming. It suggests connection while leaving room for imagination. Humor lowers emotional walls. It reminds both people that relationships are meant to bring joy, not constant analysis. Machiavelli understood human emotions well enough to know that pleasure creates loyalty, just as effectively as fear creates obedience. In healthy relationships, joy is always the stronger force. One of the greatest mistakes in texting is trying to win every conversation. Some women feel the need to prove they are always right. Every disagreement becomes a competition. Every opinion becomes a battle. Attraction slowly disappears because respect is replaced by ego. Imagine receiving a simple message after a disagreement that says, "I understand your point." Those 5 words change everything. Notice they do not say, "You are completely right." They simply acknowledge his perspective. Feeling understood is one of the deepest human needs. Once people feel understood, they become much more willing to understand you in return. Influence grows through empathy more often than through argument. Silence also deserves respect. Many people panic whenever a conversation naturally ends. They search desperately for another topic because they fear losing momentum. But meaningful relationships do not require constant performance. 2 emotionally healthy people can go hours without texting because they trust the connection. Constant communication does not guarantee closeness. Sometimes it hides insecurity. A woman who remains calm during quiet moments sends a powerful message without typing a single word. She communicates that her confidence does not depend on non-stop validation. That emotional balance becomes incredibly attractive because it feels rare in a world addicted to instant responses. Machiavelli often wrote about appearances and perception, but beneath those ideas lies an important lesson. The strongest position is not pretending to be powerful. It is becoming someone who naturally carries quiet confidence. Your text should reflect your real personality at its best, not an invented character. Pretending may create temporary attention, but authenticity creates lasting trust. If your humor is genuine, use it. If your kindness is real, show it. If your confidence is growing, let it grow naturally. Influence built on truth lasts much longer than influence built on performance. As we move toward the final part, remember this. None of these texts work because they contain magical words. They work because they reveal emotional security, self-respect, curiosity, and warmth. The message itself is only the surface. The mindset behind it is what changes everything. In the final part, we will reveal the last 2 powerful texts, the biggest texting mistakes that silently destroy attraction, and the timeless Machiavellian principle that separates women who are remembered from women who are quickly forgotten. It says, "Thank you for being honest with me." This message has incredible power because honesty is often rewarded with fear instead of appreciation. Many people claim they want the truth, but when they receive it, they react with anger, guilt, or emotional pressure. Over time, people learn that hiding their real thoughts feels safer than speaking openly. A woman who thanks a man for his honesty creates a completely different experience. She tells him that truth is welcome, even when it is uncomfortable. This builds trust at a level that flirting alone never can. Machiavelli understood that trust is one of the rarest forms of power because it cannot be forced. It must be earned through consistent behavior. When a man believes he can be honest without being attacked, he feels emotionally safe. Emotional safety is not boring. It is the foundation of every relationship that survives difficult moments. The 11th and final text is perhaps the strongest of them all because it reflects complete self-respect. It says, "Take care of yourself." Many people use these words as a casual goodbye, but when spoken with sincerity, they carry a deeper meaning. They communicate care without control. They show affection without possession. They tell him that you want the best for him, whether he is talking to you at that exact moment or not. This is mature love. It does not try to hold someone tightly out of fear. It wishes them well because genuine care is not dependent on constant attention. A woman who can love without losing herself becomes unforgettable because she offers something that cannot be faked. She has learned that confidence and kindness can exist together. Now that you have seen all 11 texts, you may wonder why they feel so different from the messages most people send every day. The answer is simple. None of them chase. None of them beg. None of them try to force a specific reaction. They invite connection instead of demanding it. That difference changes everything. Human beings naturally move away from pressure and toward freedom. The more someone feels emotionally trapped, the more they seek escape. The more they feel respected, the more willingly they invest. This is one of the oldest truths about human nature. Many women unknowingly destroy attraction through habits that seem harmless. They send paragraph after paragraph explaining every feeling before the relationship has earned that level of emotional depth. They apologize for things that require no apology. They constantly ask questions like, "Are you mad at me? Do you still like me?" Or "Why haven't you replied?" Yet these questions may come from fear, but fear often creates the very outcome it hopes to avoid. Constant reassurance becomes exhausting because it asks another person to carry emotional weight that only confidence can truly hold. Imagine a man who receives 20 anxious messages while he is busy working. Even if he genuinely likes the woman, he begins associating the conversation with stress instead of comfort. Now imagine another woman who sends one thoughtful message, trusts him to reply when he can, and continues enjoying her own day. Which conversation feels lighter? Which woman appears more emotionally secure? Attraction is often less about creating excitement and more about removing unnecessary pressure. There is another mistake that quietly weakens connection. Some women text only when they need something. Every conversation becomes a request, a complaint, or a problem waiting to be solved. Gradually, the relationship begins to feel like responsibility instead of partnership. Healthy communication also includes appreciation, humor, curiosity, encouragement, and shared joy. Relationships grow stronger when positive moments outnumber negative ones. Every conversation teaches the other person what emotional experience they can expect from being around you. Machiavelli often observed that people reveal themselves through patterns, not isolated moments. The same is true in relationships. One perfect text will not create lasting attraction if every other message is filled with insecurity or emotional chaos. Likewise, one awkward text rarely destroys a healthy relationship built on trust. Patterns shape perception. Consistency builds reputation. Every message becomes another brushstroke in the picture someone forms of you. Ask yourself honestly, if someone judged your personality only through your texts over the last month, What kind of person would they imagine? Calm or anxious, confident or dependent, interesting or predictable, warm or emotionally draining? The answers to those questions matter far more than finding the perfect line. Never forget that mystery is not created by pretending to be cold. Many people misunderstand this completely. They believe acting distant automatically makes them more attractive. It does not. Coldness creates emotional distance. Mystery comes from having a full life. A woman with meaningful goals, close friendships, personal passions, and inner peace naturally appears intriguing because her world does not revolve around one person. She is not playing hard to get. She is simply busy becoming the best version of herself. That difference is impossible to fake for long. The strongest relationships are formed by two people who admire each other instead of trying to control each other. Control is born from fear. Admiration is born from respect. When you constantly monitor someone, demand explanations, or test their loyalty through games, you communicate insecurity. When you communicate openly, respect boundaries, and trust actions more than words, you communicate strength. Machiavelli understood that lasting influence never depends entirely on force. It depends on creating willing cooperation. Healthy love follows the same principle. The strongest bond is the one both people choose freely every day. Another lesson worth remembering is that timing matters as much as wording. Even the best message loses power if sent at the wrong moment. If he is dealing with a family emergency, buried in work, or facing personal challenges, the most thoughtful text may receive only a short reply. Do not immediately interpret that as rejection. Wise people observe context before judging intention. Emotional intelligence means understanding not only what to say, but also when to say it. Patience often protects relationships from misunderstandings that never needed to happen. There is also a difference between attraction and attachment. Attraction invites someone closer. Attachment born from fear tries to hold them there. These 11 texts create attraction because they respect freedom. They express interest without surrendering dignity. They reveal care without abandoning self-respect. That balance is rare because many people believe they must choose between confidence and kindness. In reality, the most attractive people possess both. They know how to care deeply without becoming emotionally dependent. As your relationships grow, your texts should become more authentic, not more strategic. At the beginning, thoughtful communication creates curiosity. Later, honesty sustains love. No clever sentence can replace trust. No psychological trick can replace respect. No perfectly timed message can replace consistent character. Words may open the door, but actions decide whether someone stays. Think about the people who have had the greatest influence on your life. They probably were not the loudest. They probably did not speak the most. Instead, they made you feel respected, understood, and accepted while still inspiring you to become better. That is the real lesson hidden beneath every text in this video. The goal is not to control another person. The goal is to become someone whose presence naturally creates comfort, confidence, and curiosity. Machiavelli is often remembered as a teacher of strategy, but beneath every strategy lies an understanding of human nature. People want to feel important. They want to feel respected. They want to feel safe enough to reveal who they truly are. When your words help create those feelings, attraction grows naturally, because you are giving something that has become rare in the modern world. You are giving emotional clarity instead of confusion. So before you send your next message, pause for one moment and ask yourself a simple question. Does this text come from confidence or from fear? Is it trying to build connection or trying to force reassurance? Is it revealing my best character or my deepest insecurity? That single moment of reflection will improve your communication more than memorizing 100 clever lines. Remember the 11 texts. I thought of you when I saw this. You always make me laugh. Good luck today. I know you'll do well. I'm busy right now. I'll text you later. You'll never guess what happened today. I respect how you handled that. I had a great time today. Tell me something you've never told most people. Enjoy your time with your friends. Thank you for being honest with me. Take care of yourself. None of these messages are powerful because they are complicated. They are powerful because they reflect a woman who values herself while valuing the other person. That combination cannot be copied through words alone. It must become part of who you are. When confidence guides your heart, your words become calm. When self-respect shapes your choices, your messages become clear. When emotional maturity replaces fear, every conversation becomes more meaningful. And that is the timeless principle that separates those who are briefly noticed from those who are deeply remembered. The greatest attraction has never been perfect beauty or perfect wording. It has always been quiet confidence expressed through honest actions, thoughtful words, and the rare ability to make another person feel understood without ever losing yourself. If this video gave you a new way to understand attraction and communication, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more powerful Machiavelli-inspired wisdom. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these 11 texts do you think is the most powerful? And if you found this helpful, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.